Hey everyone, welcome back to Coffee with Crainer. Today I have a very exciting guest on the show, Noah Fleming, president at Noah Fleming Consulting and Company. Been around since 2005. Also wrote two amazing books, or one that's coming up, I think.
Actually, three books.
Three books.
And a new one on the way.
So the fourth is on the way.
Fourth is on the way.
Evergreen, Customer Loyalty Loop, and then what's the third one?
Third one's called Dealing with Difficult Customers.
Yes.
And then I've got a fourth one coming out.
Which you can't share yet.
Yet to be titled.
Excellent. So for those that don't know, Noah is really a world-class business consultant, author, and coach. Works with companies of all sizes, helping them build lasting relationships and scale. And today we're going to be talking about the world of consulting, how you got into it, and maybe some of the results that you've seen from your those that you're training, and so much more. So excited to jump into it. But first, Noah, where is your favorite place for coffee?
My favorite place for coffee is Joe Coffee in Kingsville.
Good spot.
I don't know if you know Joe.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the owners at Joe, I actually share an office space with him, and so I'm a loyal customer there. I love going there. Just a fantastic spot. But this is good coffee.
Hey, it's Costco coffee at its best. So, how did you get started with consulting back in 2005?
Yeah, so it's been a long haul, and it's funny to say, but I had one job out of university, and I found myself in this room, didn't have any windows, and I thought, I just spent my whole life to put myself into a prison, and I said, I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
and so I took what I knew from my education, my background. I started working with essentially anybody that would pay me to do anything, which at that time was small businesses around town, local restaurants, local golf course, local accounting firms, whatever it might be. And then that just continued to snowball into larger and larger clients. So I wrote a couple books, which brought on additional clients, and it's been growing ever since.
Did writing the books help elevate your business?
Oh, absolutely.
And I guess in what way as well?
I worked with a business coach, and back in 2005, he always said that a traditionally published or commercially published book was the gold standard for credibility and authority. And so I took that to heart. You don't really write a book for book sales these days. You write a book to position yourself as that authority or as that expert. And so they definitely did what they accomplished. All three books that I wrote prior to my one coming out, they all served a purpose. They all helped grow the business, grow the brand, grow my visibility. And, you never know where they're going to lead, right? So as an example, I was speaking at a conference and my phone rang, and it was the president of a extremely large retailer that everybody would know. And she said to me, I picked up your book at a local bookstore, and we've got to work together. And so that type of stuff is what is the result of writing a book.
And you've worked with many companies. Who would, I know you can't share, but going back to 2005, was there your first sale? Do you remember that?
I remember the majority of my sales. I remember the big ones. I remember the small ones. I remember the ones that didn't go so well. But yeah, there was a lot of those, at the time I was young, and so there were some clients that were almost that credibility piece, right? It's like you're working with the Washington Capitals now, right? Like that was one of the clients I worked with that I'm allowed to talk about. Yeah, I worked with them the year following winning the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
So pretty cool. Here's an organization that's at the top of its game. They've just won the cup. The seats are packed, and they're asking themselves, how do we get better, right? And that's the type of company I love, the one that's saying, we're on this rocket booster already. How do we add another booster to it and get even higher? And so that was pretty cool.
And how would you describe your coaching and your consulting work to people?
It's changed over the years. When I first got started, I used to believe it was the more I give, the better, right? And so I really believe this. The more hours I'm on site, the more time I give you, the more stuff I deliver to you, the more I give you, that equates to value. And what I learned from my business coach, who I've worked with for the majority of this time, is that value doesn't equate to time, right? Value equates to me helping you get to where you want to go. And so that's been extremely influential in my business, because I learned sometimes I didn't need to spend 3 days on site with you. If I could help you solve your problem in an hour, you were happy and I was happy, right? So I got to get home and be with my family instead of being there and just thinking that my presence was adding value.
Yeah.
And companies come to appreciate that after a time, right? We're used to hourly billing from accountants and lawyers and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you just want your problem solved.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been influential and huge in the work that I've done.
And what types of problems are most of your clients coming to you with?
I mean, there's a classic story I love to tell, and it goes like this. It's if I asked almost any company out there, I said, tell me your process for filing an expense report. They can all do it, right? They can tell me exactly what's happened. Employee goes to lunch. Employee gets a receipt. Employee comes back. They scan that receipt. They submit it to HR. There's probably a form to go with it. All this work for a $8 ham sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then I ask them, well, what's your process like for keeping a customer? Crickets, right? What's your process for onboarding a new customer? Don't know, right? What's your process for generating a referral, or getting that customer to review you, or getting them to come back and buy from you again? And that's where a lot of my consulting work happens. It's kind of finding those areas that have been neglected, that are such huge growth levers for
Mm-hmm.
companies.
Mm-hmm. And when you're working with these companies, how long is it? Are you usually 6 months? Is it years, multiple years? How do you...
It depends. I mean, a lot of my work over the years has shifted to more of advisory work where I'm there as they need me.
Yeah.
Which is the best type of work for a consultant, right? It's like you're the smoke detector up there that's ready to go off when they need you.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, back to what I said earlier, they don't necessarily equate their time with you in hours or in billable units, but they know that you're there for them when they need you the best. And so I have some clients I work with for months, some that I've worked with for years. And then I also have some things that I do for clients that take a day. So I have a process called the one-day sales process.
Okay.
Where I go into a company and I help them essentially build out a fully functioning, codified, unified sales process for the entire company. And so there's a great example of that, a company called Speedway Motorsports in the US. They own all the race facilities all over the country. Spent 8 months trying to build a sales process, trying to figure it out, beating their heads. How do we bring all these different segments of our company, these different geographic regions together and have something that works for us? So again, 8 months of work. I told them I could do it in a day. It's kind of a lofty promise.
Yeah.
I hadn't really even figured out how I was going to do it yet, but I was confident that we could do it. And we did. And we left at 5 o'clock that day with something they were able to take and run with. And, they gave me this amazing raving testimonial that it kind of changed the entire culture of what they did, because it changed their way of thinking too. Mm-hmm. It changed their way of thinking that we need to spend 8 months on something to make this decision, to move this area of our business forward. In fact, we did it in a day. We just got really focused with each other. We were really honest with each other, and they had somebody like me there to keep the needle moving forward, right? So we could accomplish our goal.
And what would you say you love most about what you're selling?
I mean, I love the transformation, right? And I love, as I said earlier, I love the clients that see potential to go even further. The toughest clients to work with are the ones that are in a lot of pain, right? That need business. They're struggling. Those are the toughest clients to work with. I can help them, right? But it's the ones that are excited, that see potential, that see the future, that have this strong vision or North Star of where they're going. Those are the best types of clients to work with. And
now as yourself, we had spoke before, you also have your own coach.
I do. I actually have two.
And how important is that? And there's a lot of, and I just hired my first coach. There's a lot of people that are in entrepreneurship that do not hire coaches or consultants, and they work through the problems themselves. How could, from everyone you've coached, how important is it to have another person in your ear giving you some type of perspective? Because some people may look at it as, no, I don't need one. I can watch a YouTube video.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Like,
I mean, and you can. There's unlimited information, unlimited opinions, unlimited ideas. I look at it a few ways. The first way is I have clients that invest and pay to work with me as a coach or as a consultant or as an advisor, mm-hmm. right? So it doesn't say a lot if I'm not willing to take those investments and risks with myself. The other thing is, again, that idea of investing in yourself. So yesterday I was having a discussion with a colleague in my office, and I told him about this investment. He said, wow, like you fascinate me, right? The fact that you're willing to spend that on yourself to get better at this point in your career. I thought, well, like, what else should I be doing, right? Of course, I need to keep investing and growing and getting the help that I need to elevate even further. So my first coach, I couldn't afford it. I went completely in the hole. I put it all in credit. I think his fee at the time was $20,000, right? I was just married. I think I was exactly your age. My wife and I had just bought a house. I had just quit a job, my first job out of school. Again, I couldn't afford to do this, but I knew I needed to get serious, and I knew I needed to have that fuel, there to keep me motivated and keep me energized. Sometimes we need to put something out there that keeps us hungry, and so I've just constantly believed that. And now I'm at a different place where if I want to get better at something, I try and find who's the best in the world at it, right? And then I'm going to make that investment.
Yes, 100% agree with you. Well, there's some people that are not a good fit for coaching and consulting. The ones that are, how would you describe those people?
You mean in terms of being a coach or a consultant?
No, being the person on the other side, the one that's receiving the coaching or the consulting. So for some people, it works, and then there's some people that are like, this was a huge waste of time. The coaching didn't work. The consulting didn't work. How would you describe, if somebody's looking to hire a coach, how should they be ready mentally? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I can look at it from both sides. So the first one is from the consultant perspective. When I'm working with an organization that hires me, I am fully confident that what I can do will help them, right? They have to be ready to receive that help. And that's been a huge mindset shift for me. It's like, if a prospect doesn't sign the proposal to work with me, I used to treat that as my loss, okay? Right? Like, I messed up, I needed that money. But now I've kind of shifted that thing. It's not my loss, it's their loss, right? They missed out on the opportunity to do it. I think too, I've worked with people that are trying to build a coaching and consulting practice, and sometimes they learn 6 months into it, they're not cut out for it, right? Like, they've invested the money to work with me, but they realize after 6 months, it's a lot of work, right? Like, I got to market, I got to write, I got to speak, I got to actually work with clients, I got to do all this stuff. And my coach taught me this early on, that there's value in that too.
Yeah.
If you spent the money to work with a coach and you realize that the path of entrepreneurship or the path of being your own boss or the path of working for yourself isn't for you, that's money well spent.
Absolutely. Right? You're saving so many headaches.
That's right.
Line.
So I kind of look at it both ways. But if you're willing to work with somebody who's got the proven path, who's has the model to do what you want to do, and you're willing to take that leap of faith and to trust yourself and to follow through on what's being taught to you, then amazing things can happen.
And for those that are looking, you'd mentioned teaching other people on how to get in the coaching and consulting space. Any advice for someone that's looking to enter?
You just need to start, right? And so when I started my practice, I was 25, working with small businesses. Like I said, anybody that would pay me and write a check. But over time, that shifted and that developed, and I knew that I was good at these certain things. I didn't necessarily believe I was the expert. And I went down to my business coach, and he said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I'm going to be an expert in this, but I don't have the credibility. I'm only 25 years old. Right? I don't have the clients. I don't have the history. I don't have the backstory. And he took a little pen like this, and he kind of knighted me on the shoulders, and he said, now you're the expert. Right? And that changed my life, because that was the moment where I realized so much of this was in my head.
In your head,
so many of these excuses of, I live in a small town, I can't do this, I don't have the backstory, I don't have the clients. Well, I did have it, right? I just needed to continue working on it. And so much of it is just believing in yourself.
100%. And looking back to 2005, what are you most proud of? What would you say? It's been 20 years.
I mean, my dad always used to say to me, growing up, he had this line. So my dad worked in a factory most of his career, and he started on the shop floor, and he built that up to an executive position in one of the largest companies actually around here. And but he always used to say to me, write your own paycheck. He said, every 2 weeks, there's somebody in an office that writes my paycheck with the amount of money I'm being paid. And that's a set amount every week. And he always said to my brother and I, find a way to write your own paycheck, right? Because then you can decide what that number looks like. And that always struck me as something really cool. So 20 years later, I'm proud of the fact that I've written that paycheck for myself for 20 years, right? That's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. Any challenging times that you faced in this business?
Yeah. I mean, there's always ups and downs.
Yeah.
COVID was definitely a changing time for my business. I mean, travel stopped, right?
Are you mostly, you go in person and meet with
I used to,
yeah.
right? So that's kind of changed as we've moved to more advisory. I still try and get out and see my clients. I want to have that face-to-face connection with them.
Yeah.
But that definitely changed my business. And so actually immediately after COVID, I took a couple of years off. I kind of called it my mini retirement in my young 40s just to kind of reflect and decide what I really wanted to do with the rest of my career. And it wasn't until early last year that I really decided, I want to go back at this in a bigger way than I had ever done before. And so that's what I'm doing.
What are you looking to do in 2026?
There's a lot going on in 2026. So I've got a new book coming out, which I mentioned.
Yes.
Just kind of tying the bow on that over the next few weeks, which is pretty exciting. And I'm going to try a lot of new stuff that I haven't done before. So again, back to what we've been discussing, just investing a boatload of money, time, resources into myself to see what's possible. And for me, it's like, I need to feed my family. I need to pay the mortgage. I need to do all that. But I also want to be having fun. And I want to enjoy what I'm doing. When money's good, when business is good, one of the biggest traps for entrepreneurs is we coast, right? And it's easy to coast, especially if you don't have any debt. You don't have any things that are hampering you down. But again, it was my business coach to me said, the problem with you coasting is you don't coast in a parallel line, right? The only way something coasts is downhill. And that was such a mindset shift to me as well, because it was like, holy crap, right? I think I'm doing well just by coasting, but I'm not. And so if you're not growing, you're dying. And so that's kind of one of my core beliefs and philosophies, that I just need to continue trying new things, doing new things, and having fun with it.
And was there something that ignited you to come out of semi-retirement?
I mean, my kids are a little bit older, so those first few years of, when your kids are between the ages of 0 and 10, those are challenging, tough times, especially if you want to be a present, at-home, involved father.
Yes.
It's busy, and my kids are still busy, but they're at an age now where they're more self-sufficient and self-reliant, and it just felt like the right time.
Yeah. Can they drive themselves around?
Not
yet. You're waiting for that day.
And again, I also see a lot of need. Right?
Yeah.
I see a lot of need for what I can help companies do, because again, they're often focused on the wrong things, and what I think I can help them do really, really well is zone in on what areas of your business are going to have the biggest impact for you, right? And that's really exciting to me.
And are you taking on more clients? If
always
folks are watching the podcast, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, best way to find me is certainly on my website, noahfleming.com. They can find me on Instagram and all of the socials, where I'm really ramping up my presence there.
Yes.
So, just having a lot of fun with it. And I think if anybody's got questions, they should definitely reach out. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for making the time, Noah. And I'm excited to see everything skyrocket online. I know, it's more of a quiet sale, or it has been in the past for you. Like, you're working with major companies, but not necessarily telling the world, right? And I'm excited to see, this next chapter for you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. And if you want to rewatch the episode, visit coffeewithcrainer.com and be sure to check out Noah Fleming. We'll see you.